So thank you for coming, first of all, everyone, and joining us here at Music Conference. It's a big pleasure to be here, of course, and today we're going to talk about facts. There we go. So I'm going to start off about telling you a bit more how FACT started, and then who we are, how we do what we do, and you know, I'm going to tell you the whole ins and outs of how the business works, what sort of parties we're at, and how it grew, of course. So first of all, I'm going to tell you a bit about myself. My name is Rick Maia. I'm originally from Portugal. É por isso que tenho sotaque assim pouco. I moved to London when I was 17, and I started DJing. I played, a lot of clubs, most of the London clubs. I started running my own events, and eventually, the events started going well. I started doing a few international things, and in 2011, I got the opportunity to go and work for Ministry of Sound. If you don't know already, Ministry of Sound is one of the biggest clubbing institutions in the world. We used to do like parties over the world. It started like 20 years ago. So that for me was like the industry university, a university about music. I learned so much of what I know today at Ministry, and I was organizing international events for them, like the tours, and that's the base of where I started with events. After I'd already been doing it for a while, I learned a lot how to do the business side of things. So in 2012, I became resident for FACT, which I'm going to tell you a bit more in a minute. And in 2012, I had the opportunity to move to Barcelona to start working with FACT, and apart from being a resident already, actually do the brand expansion and taking the brand to different places around the world. So let me just. I've got technology here. It's going to help me, hopefully. Boom. Okay, so that was me. So I'm going to show you a little video, an introduction video about FACT. So first of all, I'm going to start about, I'm going to start talking about the history of FACT. FACT started in 2010. It was founded by a very close friend and a guy called Andres, or also known as Andres Perez is the real name. I got a bit late, and the personality of Andres was essential in in making things happen at the beginning. He was a bit of a dreamer, very passionate about what he does, and determined. He always takes things to the end, and he has these ideas and limits in his head that aren't normal for someone, and things like that, and also being very determined, outgoing. He makes friends with everyone. The artists, he's always clubbing, and of course, he's a true clubber. So, you can't run events if you haven't been there from the beginning, And at partying, he's very good, which kind of helped us, So that was Andres, the founder, and he was originally from the UK and lived in Rome and lived in Spain. So he speaks a lot of languages, which also helped at the beginning. And from going out, from being very passionate about music, he started giving out flyers, and then started knowing people from the industry, becoming friends with the artists. And one day he eventually said, I want to run my own event. And he started his first event. This was during Sonar, which I'll tell you a bit more about Sonar in a second, but these were the first events that he ran, and he had these dreams, I really want to do some big parties, and let's start. So this was in 2010. Okay. So after that came some weekly events in Barcelona on a Friday, and at Space Ibiza on a Saturday. You know, to start off there was a very big thing, and you know, Andres, in fact, it was the right place, the right time, which is very important in this industry. You know, it's opportunities. Every single opportunity that you have, you've got a chance to do something. Try it. You know, you can't succeed if you haven't tried things. And you know, at the right starting point to have a weekly event in Barcelona followed by a Saturday in Space Ibiza was very lucky. You know. Belief, of course, Andres believed, and you know, at the beginning it was him, but there's more people which I'll tell you about, but he always believed that, you know, I want to get to the top, I want to do things, I want to be non-stop. So that's very important as well, believing in what you do, and of course, a lot of luck. So those were the main attributes that, you know, that helped and did what helped FACT get to where it is at the beginning, where it started developing. So then came another concept, which was called FACT Limited Edition. And this was a very important series of events that put FACT on the map, really, and, you know, got the word spread about FACT to the whole world. It was a totally unique party. It was every Wednesday in a 100-capacity venue with a very unique concept, which was 5 hours with one DJ, and it was the biggest DJs in the industry. We invited, you know, many people. Here are some of the flyers. You know, that's what really got people to know FACT, and the artists and the agents and the managers. Because it was every Wednesday and it was only for 100 people, it was almost like being in your living room with some of these guys. And the club was very special. It had a Function 1 sound system when it first came out, or, you know, when there wasn't that many people with Function 1 at the time. And very small room, half the size of this, and it was a really intimate atmosphere, and that's what kind of every week people started to know it, and it really, you know, helped to progress things, if you like. So after that came some more Barcelona events, you know, and the first international event was like, wow, you know, we're going to Toulouse, was the first international event they did, and then London came. So things constantly growing, you know, developing. So now we're going to move on from the past into present and who we are. Now, first of all, we're event engineers. Anything that is related to the whole process of conceptualizing, planning, organizing, executing an electronic music event, that's what we specialize in. Parties, anything from 100 people in a Marco Carolla after party where he calls us, say, I want an after party tomorrow, can we make it happen, to, you know, festival stages with thousands of people. We've done various things, which you will see in a second. We're an artist agency as well. We support our own artists. We've got 8 artists that we work very closely with that are our own, and we also act as the intermediary between us and the events we do and other agents, so book artists from all over the world, international artists, to play at our events. We're also communication experts. Anything social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, competitions. We have a team of experts who every day, you know, they plan, they strategize, they they execute, you know, anything relating to social media, and they do it properly. That's very important in the industry nowadays, because there's so much competition. You know, communicating right, doing the right things at the right time is essential. And of course, we are a group of people who live and breathe music. You know, we're very passionate about what we do, and without that, you know, it's hard to do it. Okay, now I'm going to tell you a bit more about the sort of events that we currently run. So Fact Limited Edition. We're still running that. Oh, let me go back. Running too fast. 1 second. So, Fact Limited Edition. We're still running that now at the moment. You know, we always use it, always set a limit of about 200-300 people for our events. Currently, in the next 3 months, we've got a venue in Barcelona called La Boîte, where we do parties, you know, with one of our residents and one international artist, and we do that every Friday. We also do Fact Secret Villa, which exclusive villa parties that no one knows about until the last minute. We get everyone to meet us at a certain point, at a certain place. We get them in a bus, and we take them to a secret villa with, you know, great lineups. It's crazy, you know. People don't expect. They never know where to go. We always take them somewhere special, you know. Great views, and it's a different vibe, you know. That's what really makes it special, and we always limit it. You know, we don't advertise much. Certain events, you know, different events have different ways of promoting, and this one is very kind of intimate and more for like close friends, and people talk about it, and that's what kind of spreads the word out. We also do something called House Class, where, you know, weekly throughout the summer we invite some of the biggest legends in-house. People like Masters at Work, Frankie Knuckles, Junior Jack, David Morales, Louis Vega, and you know, Derek Carter, and they all come to play every week. And you know, the people that really appreciate house music, where it started from and where it used to be, are the people that come. And we only invite legends, you know. And it's turned into a bit of a family, and the parties are incredible as well. And we're also, you know.
Chicago house music.
House music is the latest trend in music to hit Chicago.
Marshall Jefferson and Frankie Knuckles.
They created a sound called house. A sound that we love.
That's when I first used to the term house.
House music was born.
And now really good house music is back and people realize it.
Chicago house, acid house.
For some reason, the people are amazing. House music is good. If you can feel that shit, and you want to keep giving as much as you get back from a crowd.
House music.
So this was an idea that came from, you know, we're doing something really special here. We're inviting some of the biggest names in the world that have been DJing for 20, 25 years, some of them. And we thought, let's just get them to tell us their stories and, you know, their experiences. And so, you know, one of our video guys, who was David De Palma, a really talented person, he said, okay, let's do this concept where, you know, if we have them in Barcelona every week, let's ask them questions, you know, let's get them to tell us their past, their stories. So every week last summer, we got you know, every artist to tell us their story. And then this year, earlier on this year, two of our guys went to New York and to Chicago to actually meet them there, and, you know, just see them in their environment. And this documentary is coming out during Sonar, which I'll explain next. It's coming out in about May, so watch out. You know, we're going to put it in all the film festivals, and you know, it's something that hasn't been done for quite a while. A real documentary about house music. There's loads of stuff that's been done years and years ago, but recently there's nothing new. So we're going to see, you know, give it a new edge and see how it comes out. So next up, which I would say is probably the most important thing that we do, is various events during off week. So off week, in case you don't know, it's in June. It's in every year in Barcelona, where about 200,000 people travel to the city to celebrate music. It's it originally started around the Sonar Festival, but not only in the festival, but around it, artists, labels, promoters, people from all over the world come to Barcelona, which is a magical city. It's the capital of music in Europe now, one of the capitals. And it really is, if you haven't been or if you haven't experienced it, it really is an amazing experience. So, because we're based in Barcelona and that's where we're strong, that's how really FACT kind of, grew. And during that week, in 1 week, we do 30 events with about 150 DJs and 40,000 people come to our events during that week. And that's our real, center of everything that we do is based around that. We grew from Sonar, we grew from events, we grew from meeting people. During Sonar, we do a series of different events. The first one is called Music Pool Series, where we take over an amazing swimming pool. It's about 2,000 people, and it's a whole day and night event. I'll show you a little video now. So that was Music Pool Series. During Sonar, we also do something else called L'Atlantida. L'Atlantida is a 4,000 capacity venue where we do some of the biggest artists and biggest label showcases. I'll show you another video about L'Atlantida. So that was one of the events that we did last year. This year we're doing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday during Sonar, and then we do weekly parties every Saturday until September. So that's still with off parties. We also do other club events during off week, beach parties, and rooftop parties. So that's during Sonar. Outside Sonar, which is also very important to do things locally and internationally. We'll also do conferences. Obviously, Winter Music Conference in Miami, AD in Amsterdam, BPM Festival in Mexico, and now Real Music Conference as well. We also do various festivals, like Exits in Serbia, and that photo is from Dimensions in Croatia. It's an amazing venue. It's an old castle, and where they had the water, the moat. That's where the stage is, because of the acoustics of the walls facing sideways, facing slightly up, like that. The acoustics in there are absolutely unbelievable, and the atmosphere you get is really good. Apart from festivals, of course, we do various international events. I'll show you a map in a second. You know, and the important thing is for us, we're very careful as to where we want to be and how we grow. You know, from a small little party in 2010, you know, we grew, and by last year we had 150,000 people attend our events. And this was all done through careful planning, you know, crazy ideas becoming true, being in the right place at the right time, like I explained before. And, you know, internationally, we've been to, last time I counted, I think it's 18 different countries. You know, and the parties we do are around 150 every year now. Well, last year 150, so this year we've got an exponential growth that we expect to have. We don't just do anything, you know, that's one of the key things that we've always been very careful about. That there's no point doing an event if we're not sure that it's going to be, you know, as good as it can get. So there are times that we say no, and there are times that, you know, things that shouldn't really happen. Okay, let's try this. You know, let's risk, and that's what has made us. One of the things that's made us to get where we are. Let's move on to how. You know, how we do things. You know, why things have gone to where they are. The first thing and the most important thing is everything we do needs to fit into that. You know, anything that we think about, if that's not the essence of it, we don't do it. You know, that's our motto. That's the thing that we have written on the wall that we live for every day. You know, good music and good artists. You know, that's what we've been from the beginning. We don't try to follow other people. You know, we're ourselves, and it's very important to, you know, what we believe in is to keep to that that motto. You know, we're always looking at doing different things and you know, innovative ideas. And of course, Andres, the guy I told you about, he comes into that. Some of the things that he thinks about are incredible, but you know, a lot of them we say, no man, just shut up. But other ones are very useful in you know, creating new things. We've got a very strong, instantly recognizable brand. The logo with the star, you know, with our merchandising has been very important in helping us to get to where we are. And of course, you know, the base of our brand is music. We've got 8 resident artists who we send to every event. You know, we don't do events without our own residents, without our own artists, because they're the essence of it. You know, we know what music fact is. You know, and we've all got experience between ourselves. And some of us have been playing for 15, 20 years. You know. And you know, that's the essence as well. And another important thing that has led us to get where we are is to have solid music, solid artists, solid music, solid residents that are always there, you know. So also, international artists and labels. You know, through off-week events and other events in Barcelona, through sharing special moments together with you know, with these artists, we have gained a very close family within the industry. You know, we've got lots of friends that are artists, international artists, lots of managers, lots of agents, you know, and that's, you know, that's very important. I think, you know, to live moments with certain people and then they'll stick in the back of your mind and you live them again and again, and that's how we've managed to grow. You know, and artists keep coming back and wanting to play our events, especially during Sonar. You know, it's a really magical time. You know, of course, FACT isn't one person, it's not 2, it's not 3, FACT is a massive team. You know, we've got a very strong team in the office, we all really trust each other. There's about 10 of us. You know, we've got a brand expansion, we've got bookings, we've got design, we've got video department, we've got communication, and of course, you know, it's a very fun place to work. This is the welcome that I got when I first started working there. Another very important thing is obviously the consistency and quality of events. Like I said, we always have to be sure that everything is right, and we go the extra mile to ensure that. And if you're running your own events, sometimes it's very easy to kind of get tempted to just do things because it's another event and let's do it and it's exciting. But if you're not sure that it's going to be good from the beginning, then I'd say there's no point in doing it, and that's one of the things that we tend to follow as well. And it's very important to do regular events, to keep in people's minds that you're doing events, you're bringing new people, bringing new artists, and the consistency as well. People know they can come to your party, anytime, and they know they're going to listen to good music, which is very important, like I said. And so it helps, and it's essential if you're doing international events with big artists that you need to have good relationships with their agents and their managers, of course. And because of the consistent professionalism, always doing deals right, never doing things wrong, or trying not to, stuff does happen, but paying on time, things like that, you gain trust. Those are the most important people behind any event are the artists, and most important people behind them are their agents. So you need to keep everyone happy in order to, really be able to book big events. And that's a key, a key thing is to be transparent, to be professional, and never try to, bend rules or go ways that you shouldn't. That's key in success. And of course, it's very important to have individual personalities within the team, which we do, that are very motivated and believe, we all believe that we want to get to the top, and that's what's kind of helped us. Let me just get my notes ready because I wrote a bit about this. So my job within FACT, apart from the residents, is I'm in charge of brand expansion. So we had a very clear plan last year of where we wanted to be, what steps we wanted to take in order to get to, our plans are like 5-10 years ahead. So the first thing we did, and constantly do, is have a clear strategy of what territories we want to be at and when. There's no point of us doing events everywhere and then not following it up, or just doing things for the sake of it. We have to have a clear strategy and planning. And after that comes research. Like I said, we want to be in the right place at the right time. So we always look for the most adequate venues, and the parties that people are talking about, DJs, agents, managers. So there's a lot of research goes behind, and we document what sort of venues are suitable for us and where we want to be. And, if it doesn't work this time, we'd rather wait. We want to go to Maroon, for example. We want to go to let's wait and it'll come. Things like that. It's very important to strategize that, and from research, you then contact certain people, and in order to contact them, you need to have the right brand assets. Brand assets are like presentations, PDFs, video. Just be ready to contact people. The first impression is always very important. So there's no point in saying, "Oh, I want to do an event," and then they look at you and well, okay, what have you done? You need to be prepared and go like boom, 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 boom. This is who we are. This is what we do. And that's one of our strong points. We've got, if you want to give me your card afterwards, I can send you some examples. I'll show you an example of one of the videos we send out. So that was the video that we, you know, people that don't know us, or promoters we want to work with, that we send out. So, you know, for the future now, you know, we've got big plans, steady plans. You know, we don't want to go everywhere at the same time, but, you know, we're doing a South America tour in May, we're going to Miami now, so, you know, it's always important to meet the right people and to follow up. And, you know, let's, you know, that's the story of facts, you know, and who we are. So, if you've got any questions, I hope you do. Podem falar português se quiserem, se é mais fácil. Someone must have some questions, come on. Here we go. Por enquanto é pouco segredo, mas... vamos estar... Vou dizer as cidades que é melhor. Quito, Equador, Bogotá, São Paulo, Manaus, Balneário Camboriú, Córdoba em Argentina e México. Vamos fazer 4 cidades no México. Mas daqui a 3 semanas, um mês, mais ou menos, vamos anunciar. Há uns que não estão 100% fechados, por isso temos de ter cuidado, sabe? I'm very glad you asked me that question. I'm very glad you asked that question because, of course, because I actually got, I thought I've got a presentation we sent out to everyone, and I was like, how can I fit it into what I just did now, and I couldn't quite fit it, so I just left it there. But I'm going to open it, and I'll show it. Can I? Here we go. Okay, my mouse is very small. So let's start at the top. It's better. So this is the presentation that we send out to, you know, promoters and clubs. You know, when we first meet, we want to be like, okay, we want to do a party at your event. And, you know, we took a long time to do this. We didn't contact people until we had everything ready. You know, like I said, the brand assets, it's very important to be ready before you go to war. You know, if you've got the right weapons, then it's more likely that you win. So I'll just quickly run through it. You know, we obviously some photos, it's very visually, it needs to be very catching. So we've got a little introduction of what we do, you know, kind of biography of, you know, where we've done, where we've been, you know, our mottos, the way we work. Some photos of events in Barcelona. You know, that's Latlandia on the left, the big 4,000 capacity club that we do during Sonar. That's the pool series. The bottom was the Hot Creations party and Miss Kitten party we did, and the other one, Latlandia as well. Obviously, worldwide events, showcase some of the stuff that we do worldwide. The flyers. Now, a proof of what you've done is always in flyers, so obviously you need to show some flyers. These are the ones from this year. We were actually in Rio, a cave, last month. So those are the 2013 highlights, if you like. Then 2014, sorry. This is 2013. Everything from, you know, Massioplex, F. Troxler, Diamond Scolati, Audiofly, Miss Kitten, you know, you can see the names there. So those were a few of our flyers from 2013, and we've got 2012 flyers. So it's always good to show people a bit of history and, you know, proof if you like what you've done. And flyers, you know, is the best way to do it. Okay, here we go. So, you know, tell them a bit about the reach and, you know, where we've been in different countries so they can see it visually as well, like the map I showed you earlier. And then, you know, talk about the package. The package of what you get when you have a fact event, you know. People don't, if they don't know facts, so what do we get? So we always send out the fact artists, the artwork we do, everything related to the events that helps them, you know, which is artwork, banners, flyers, merchandising. We always send fat caps. And then we do marketing support as well through our communication team does stuff through Facebook, social media. So we also give that support. It's always good to have support from, you know, as many places you can online. And we are based in Barcelona, but it's pretty much a world market what we reach, you know. And we also book headline artists. That's because through our relationships, through our agents, through our managers, you know, we can sometimes facilitate the process. It's quite difficult to book a big artist sometimes. And because we've got the experience and we've got those contacts, then, you know, certain people are like, okay, you want to do a fact event, we'll make sure it's the right venue, we'll make sure everything's right, and we can book the artist. Okay, fine. So that's that. And then, you know, a little bit about the artists. And it's good to show, you know, what artists we've booked at our parties. You know, Jamie Jones, Massio Plex, Panpot, everyone. Not everyone, but, you know, a good few people. And then obviously the contact. There's another one. This is new. I showed you that video, which was the big part of it. That's our new kind of tagline. And then the next one. This was one that was done last week, and it's very recent. This is just a kind of summary. Very quick, you know, this is what we do, this is who we are. Tell you about the fact where it's been in different countries. About the brand, you know, sometimes people don't want to sit there and watch 15 pages of things, so this is just 2 pages. This is what we do, this is who we are. You know, why our brand's strong, the reach is very important. People, if they want to be part of something, they want something that's been growing, you know. And also, you know, highlights of who we collaborated with. Yeah, you know, because, you know, especially people in the night business and club owners, you know, big venues that are crazy all the time, you know, they must get sent a lot of stuff, you know. And recently we thought, okay, let's have that big presentation we do. Let's also do a short one, which is just like a summary, you know. And it's powerful, instant. This is who we are. This is what we do. This is who we worked with. You know, the venue highlights, the collaborations, the artists again, and, you know, our objectives. It's also important for them to know that, you know, what we want in the future. And that's a link to the video, be part of the video. So, good question, thanks. Anyone else? Someone português? Daniel, uma pergunta? Tem que haver mais perguntar. Claro.
Eu fiquei curiosa.
Ladies first. Ladies first. Right.
Não, você mostrou na sua última página, falando que tem ali o objetivo da festa. E qual foi a outra coisa? O objetivo e...
A parte de baixo, acho que foi o vídeo, não?
Eu queria saber o que vocês falam no site, o que vocês dizem para as pessoas. Qual é o objetivo da festa?
Ah, pronto. O objetivo, eu vou ler daqui. Keep up the current quality, momentum and progression of all areas of our business. Ou seja, continuar com... Você está dizendo mais fácil. Find strong new partners to work with in key strategic territories and cities. And it's very important to work with the right people. You know, we can't do the whole world ourselves, you know. In every territory, we try to find the best person in every city or every country to work with. If it means waiting, we can't work with them this year, okay, no problem. We don't want to go work with someone else, because then that bridge may be burned. So we'll wait, next year we'll come back and see what we can do, you know. And we've also got Sonar, which is very good too. They can work with us at Sonar, we can work with them in their territory. That's another thing we do. The next objective was utilize the current European business model, because we're very strong in Europe. You know, obviously we come from Europe, and we pretty much got most of the countries covered. We wanted to build strong in Europe first. So use that business model in order to achieve equal brand growth and success throughout North, Central and South America, as well as Asia. So right now we're concentrating on South America, and then next will be North America with US, and then we're going to go to Asia, one step at a time. I'm not trying to do too many things. Strengthen and consolidate the brand worldwide. So we're quite strong. Just keep going, keep doing what we do. Increase brand reach through all our channels and increase the media presence. So keep Facebook growing, keep Twitter growing, and get more magazines. Just build the brand slowly and gradually. And last but not least, was create a successful marketing platform in which we provide all kinds of promotional and communication tools for our brand ambassadors and promoters. So it's very important for us to be able to help the people on the ground, our promoters, and some of them, because they haven't been around for long, or there's not their strong point, we're really building a very solid promotion platform that we can give to them to use when they're organizing our events. So those are the objectives for this year. Next year, some more stuff will come in, it's always developing. What's that?
Quando vocês vão procurar alguma das casas no mundo afora, eu entendi que vocês sempre contam com parceiros locais, não necessariamente.
Sim, fala inglês, pode ser? Não, eu posso falar inglês ou você quer que eu fale português? Eu posso falar inglês? Eu entendo você. Ok.
Então vocês vão procurar as casas, dão preferência para uma casa noturna que já existe? Ou vocês vão num lugar que não tem a festa e organizam isso totalmente independente? Ou dão preferência para casas que já existem?
Good question. Normally, we want to be in the strongest places, which are, the biggest, not the biggest, but most respectable clubs. What we believe in is good artists and good music. So the most important thing is this place in the industry playing the right music for us? Is the promotion strong? Are there big artists playing there? So, because of that, normally we see one place and we go, okay, this is where we want to be. But we have. If it's someone new, it depends. If they have this crazy idea that someone's okay, this is really cool. We want to do this. Let's try it. And if it fits in with music and artists, if it fits in with what we believe in, then we can work with anyone. But in the strategy that we do, it tends to be okay. We want to be in that club in this month, so let's focus on that. We get to that club from artist reports. People, our friends, they say, this is really good. This club, it's a great atmosphere. We do research online, like I said. Resident Advisor, do you know Resident Advisor? It's a great source of information for where DJs are playing, what sort of nights they're putting on. So we do a lot of that. But we tend to want to be in certain places. Normally the successful or the ones that believe in what we believe, Good question. So Rio, as you know, it's not musically, it's not as advanced as São Paulo, for example, and it's taken us a long time to kind of, come to Rio. Not because we were, it wasn't the right people to work with, but just because the scene is, at this moment, is just coming out, and now with The Edge is coming to Rio. I think, our first party in Rio was last month, wanted to try something not go something huge, because there isn't that, wow, amazing Warung here, so we wanted to come to Brazil and start in Rio, but just to see what it was, and it was a good party. I came and we had the audio fly playing, but, the question, barriers. It was just we were concentrating on other things. We were in Europe. There was always a lot to do, and only now recently we've come to South America. And Brazil was a good starting point. We've done stuff as well a lot in Colombia and Buenos Aires, Mexico. But I think Rio really has a good future, in electronic music, and people are starting to come out. and understanding that real underground vibe. You know, it's still different to you know, other places in South America and in Europe especially, but you know, Brazil is in all aspects is getting better and everything. If you like, you know, it's the economy is a lot better than what it used to be a few years ago. People are starting to be more open, and I think, you know, the obstacles, I wouldn't say there is any. It's just the timing. Timing is important.
Vocês recebem material de artista?
Como assim?
Se o artista quiser mandar um material para vocês para tocar em uma festa, algum evento futuro?
Normally, people send us stuff. You know, artists send us all the time. But you know, we tend to work with, you know, our own artists, our own residents, and you know, we believe in them, and we're very solid in that. And we work with already established artists that have agents and have managers. So there's that relationship. But for new people, you know, it depends what territory you're in. You know, some of our events, there's other DJs playing. Like if we do an event in Rio, Mr. Daniel Bochner, you know, who's a good friend who was also living in Rio, he played for the event. So, you know, in terms of local people, you know, we always want local support. So I'd say local events, it's more the promoters that we work with, our brand ambassadors on the ground that kind of find those artists. But, you know, we are open to things, you know. Are you an artist? Você é uma artista? Ele me envia as coisas, why not? Tem aqui o meu cartão. Leva depois, ok? Tem. No problem. You can't imagine lots and lots and lots of difficulties. Lots, you know. Running events is a crazy business. You know, there's been times, 1 or 2 times at the beginning, that we didn't lose everything because of miracles. You know, from, you know, a festival that we set up to have bad weather, no one came, to, you know, we've been very lucky because along the way, you know, now we're a big team of people, and Andres was the founder, but he has, you know, his right-hand man, one of his right-hand men, which is Hernan, who kind of, they started building it together, and then, you know, luckily when we were at a bit of trouble, someone else came along, which we needed financial backup, you know, and that's extremely important, to have the financial backup to be able to, you know, risk. You know, it's impossible to run every single event well, you know. We did, for example, 2 years ago, New Year's Eve 2012, we had Massive Plex and Sev Trucks playing for New Year's Eve. And then a few weeks before, someone died in an event in Madrid, and the police wanted to stop everything. You know, so from having this amazing event to the day before, we were like, we didn't know if we were going to run the party, because they didn't want to have any events with lots of people. So in the end, we kind of had to have half the capacity, but things like that, you know, of course there's lots of problems and troubles, but luckily, you know, we've always believed in, you know, we've always looked at the top, and if there's problems, there's, for every one bad thing, there's 10 good ones, you know, so, you know, it hasn't been easy, no way, don't think this is all like, no, it's not all easy, but, you know, luckily we've got to a point where we're very solid now, you know, and events do go wrong. Even though we try to do everything that we can, not events in general, but, you know, different things can go wrong. Over the years, less and less, but, you know, at the beginning was a lot of experimenting. You know, we're not scared of taking risks, you know, and to succeed, sometimes you need to do different things and new things, and you know, taking risks, it involves sometimes, you know, not succeeding, but overall, things are good. No. Nós temos, I'll speak in English. We've got a department in English. We've got a department, which is me and 2 others, where we do the research process. So first of all is what are other DJs saying about what's the good venues to be at. So Europe was very important to us, so we wanted to take one step at a time. Europe. So we've got what are the best clubs in Europe, and then in each country, and then in each city. So it goes by stages. So now we've got South America. So lots of research, step by step planning, strategizing. We want to go to that country, so let's go on resident advisor, let's go on websites, let's speak to our friends. You went on a South America tour. What venues did you do? So we speak to someone else that tells, we went to this place, it's amazing, we went to Warung, great, okay, let's go to Warung, let's contact them. So it's a lot of time planning and a lot of time doing research. And eventually, you get a database of where, the best places that you want to be at and the more suitable for us. And that's how we plan really. But we don't want to do too many things at the same time. So we kind of focus on a few events during a period of time, and those are going to be successful. So let's do those now. Let's put all our time and effort for a couple of months in doing that, and then let's move on to the next thing. And sometimes like Europe, for example, now. We've got, people like London who do it every month, Toulouse we do it every month, we did Berlin for quite a while every month. Once things start pick up, and people on the ground are really strong, then they want to do it all the time. At Bogota, Bogota, that we do once a month as well, once every 2 months. So we get the right people in the right places, and then once we've started that research and things start going well, then we do it all the time, Claro, yeah, sure. Of course, there's lots of people who get in contact with us, or say we've got some friends in the industry or some artists who know someone else, and they say, oh yeah, and then someone else asks them, oh, do you know that the Fat Guys, can we do? And we have lots of requests all the time, but we tend to select the best ones, and we only work with one person in each territory, or we don't want to work with 10 people. Because normally different promoters, they're against each other, and we want everyone to help to work together. So we select one person per territory. So one person in Berlin, one person in Paris, one person in London, and we do that. So they do contact us, a lot. Yeah. Any more questions? House, underground electronic music, house, deep house, tech house, techno. We're very diverse, but it's that we don't move too much. It's what we believe in. And our artists, they all play that diverse styles, but it's all focused on underground electronic music. Yeah, mainly house and techno, I'd say. What do you play? Me envia para eu ouvir. E música gosto de tudo, sabe? Any more questions? Question? Então pronto, se vocês me quiserem deixar os vossos cartões ou contacto, eu mando mais alguma informação, ou se tiverem mais perguntas, tem aqui o meu contacto e pronto. Ok? Temos aqui alguém que faz eventos. Então, se você quiser algumas dicas, ou se quiseres falar, ou seja, ponha-se em contacto, ok? Muito obrigado. Cartão de contacto, se quiserem levar, podem. Muito obrigado por virem, hein? Enzo. Bom? Foi? Em princípio,